Now, Facebook has recently rolled out some new features in terms of creative optimizations, which can be applied to the ads in Meta ads. And in this video, I'm going to go into detail what these particular creative optimizations are and pretty much just go over why they may be hindering your performance and making you lose out on tens of thousands of dollars every single month. And pretty much show you how to choose which ones you need to eliminate and which ones you want to keep in order to increase your conversions and your performance. So that's what's going to be covered in this video. And as you can imagine, Facebook and Meta is trying to utilize artificial intelligence more and really try to get more performance out of the ads that you would be running. So that's why they would have added these optimizations in, and it's really going to change how we do marketing in the future, because essentially what it does is it pretty much amalgamates all these AI tools and allows you to do different things with your ads, which minimizes the effort that you need to put into trying to make the right creatives. And this gives it more dynamic elements so that you can reach new people more cost effectively and really appeal to different audiences. So in this video, that's pretty much what we're going to cover and really just delve deep into what you need to do in this situation.
So we can see here that I've set up a dummy campaign with dummy ad set and a dummy ad. And I'm going to show you exactly what these particular creative optimizations are. But in this case, we're going to go over just set up your Facebook page, your Instagram account, and also you can choose whatever type. Usually it'll be a manual upload that they will apply it to, but it can also apply to catalogs, these creative optimizations. And in this case, I've gone with a single image. And if we look at, so let's try this again. So if we add an image and we go ahead and crop the image, so obviously you know how to choose which images for each ratios. So for example, feeds will be a 1-to-1, and stories, reels, apps and sites, the image will be rendered in 9-to-16 ratio. So you want a tall ratio for stories and reels and a square dimensions for the feeds. And that can be covered in other videos. But for this particular case, we want to go over the creative optimization. So this is pretty much called the Advantage Plus creative enhancements. And this is to tailor your ad for the person viewing it by letting us automatically optimize your creative with Advantage Plus creative enhancements. And we'll show an optimized version of your creative or the original creative based on what we predict will improve performance the most. So it's essentially using the AI that Meta leverages in order to find the best creative optimizations in the campaign, and that will allow them to find new customers at the lowest cost. And that's what it promises with these creative optimizations. So I'll dive deeper into what these are. But bearing in mind that some of them you won't need, and it actually can hinder your ability to reach your customers and to scale. So just bear that in mind. So as you can see here, we have the original creative, and this is the original. And then we have relevant comments. So what does this mean? It means we'll display the most relevant comment below, you'll load your ad on Facebook and Instagram. And this is essentially just to pretty much show comments that have been made based on the ad, and it will try to dynamically show it based on how they believe the potential customer would interact or expect. So this you can leave on. This is not going to hinder your performance too much unless there are negative comments there, which I'd advise you probably turn off, because obviously you don't want them to see negative comments. So depending on how much you're scaling, you can turn this on or off depending on what I've just mentioned there. And in terms of the music, here you have the ad creative with music. So they go ahead and apply music that they feel is most appropriate, and they can increase the engagement and potential click-through rates and conversions. And given that it doesn't have any music, this particular creative, then they'll add a music in there. So this can be changed, luckily, because sometimes they may choose music which is not appropriate for the creative that you have. So that's a good thing. But you can see here, they go ahead, you can choose different sort of music here, and you can go through this if you want to. I personally would say I would turn the music off because it would usually be sort of just a normal slideshow anyway, or the slideshow may have music already that you've added to it, or the video as well may have music that you added to it. But if you wanted to add music, maybe you didn't add music to your video, your slideshow, then you can go ahead and add that here. In this case, we can't add this to image, so we don't need to worry about that in this case. And in terms of image filter, this is essentially a optimization where they will try to add sort of these filters to the creative in order to make it look more aesthetic, make it look more pleasing to the potential customer and the viewer of the ad. And obviously, if the picture looks a lot better than it was originally, then that can have an improvement in your ability to get better results. But let's say, for example, if you had already a creative that was highly made and you don't want them to particularly edit those type of creatives that you had, which is, you already put in effort to make the creatives, then you can turn this off. So the way you turn this off is essentially just click on the icon here and you toggle this off as so, and that would allow you to turn the image filter off. And you can do this for the other optimizations as well. As for image template, this is essentially where you can add in text to the creative. So in this case, an image. So you can add text here. You see headline, and this will allow you to add extra information to the creative, and Meta will do this for you. So they go ahead and take maybe information from the primary text, from the headlines that you put with the ad, or even from the website, and they go ahead and put that on the part of the creative so that it conveys the message a lot more clearly and is kind of more boldly stated that may not be seen in the description or the headline. So that's what it goes ahead and does. And it says that 78% of retail businesses have turned on image template. And they claim that it can help to improve the performance. I would say split test this. I personally turn this off for brands because usually the brand owners don't like these type of creative elements. So I go ahead and turn this off. But if you want to go ahead and test that, split test it, and try and see if it improves your performance, then feel free to do so. As for visual touch-ups, this is essentially where it goes ahead and applies visuals elements to your ad creative. And it does this when there's a change in dimension. So as you know, on Meta, you can advertise on the feeds, on stories, reels, right column, so on and so forth, and the dimension changes. So what visual touch-ups goes in and does is it changes the dimensions accordingly using AI technology so that it can help to look more aesthetic and also increase the performance of the ad. So as you can see here in the story placement, it's gone ahead and tried to add extra visual touch-ups to the image, whereas it could be a black bar down here, but instead they made it white to match the image, right? So that it looks more aesthetically pleasing. So, and it does this for all of the different types of placement. So you can see here it has a white background, just like the image does. It tries its best to make it match, and that's essentially what it gives it. I notice it adds contrast and brightness as well. So this is something you can try and add in, but bearing in mind that it's still quite new, so it can get it wrong and it can make your actual creative look worse. So really need to be careful. I actually turned this off for the brands because they usually have very good creators to begin with, and so they usually have it tailored to each placement, so they don't need to worry about that too much. And in terms of the text improvements, again, they can add it. You can add any text. Provide may appear as primary text, headline, or description, and they will try to make your ad copy better using AI technology as well. And I tend to turn this off because I would have done, or we would have done research based on the ad copy and so on, so that it's actually optimized. So you won't necessarily need to turn this on unless you don't have an optimized ad copy and you want Meta to go ahead and make improvements for you. Then you can go ahead and turn this on. And then you have expand image. Now, this image is not compatible with expand image, so in that case, this won't be needed. But essentially, it does what it says. It will try to expand the image and try to make it look better on different different placements, so that it can help to increase conversions, get engagement, and so on. And then we have add catalog items. So this one's essentially also self-explanatory. You can add catalog items below the creative so that people can go ahead and view the products straight away from the creative, and they don't need to actually click onto the website. And it's essentially an instant experience. So you can turn this on, you can split test it. Usually collection ads do quite well when you're running it compared to image ads. But again, it depends on sort of what vertical you're in, what products you're selling, and sort of what you're trying to promote. So this is something you can split test. And in this case, I can pretty much turn it on. So, and then once you're done, you just click done, and there you go. You pretty much have the sort of creator optimizations applied, and this will keep running your account with the ads and the campaigns that you're running. Now, you can also go ahead and choose different creative optimizations for different ads. So let's say you have an ad which has the creative optimization on, and then you have another ad which has some of them off. Then you can go ahead and do that. It doesn't apply to all of the creative that you're running in the ads or the campaign. You can mix and match which ones you want to turn on and turn off. So that's good. But me personally, and for the brands that I work with, I particularly don't turn this on. So that's what's has been working well for me and the brands that I've been working with.
So another thing is that you may believe that once you turn on these creative optimizations, that it'll be running all the time. This is not exactly the case. What happens is that once you turn these on, Facebook will intelligently use these creative optimization based on what the machine learning believes is going to produce the best conversions, the best engagements, and pretty much get you the best results possible. So, for example, if it has the image filters enabled, then it may choose the different people who will show the image filters to, and if it believes that it's getting the best conversions based on the data it's receiving, then it will go ahead and show those image filters to more people. And this is the same case with the music, the catalog, so on and so forth, right? And once this happens, it's going to try to find new ways of getting better results. So it can change the elements, maybe combine different elements together, and then from that point onwards, it can pretty much just keep going on and on from there. But important to note, it's not on all the time, so you don't need to worry about it being like changing your creative indefinitely. It's just going to change it based on who is viewing the product and what it believes will be the best combination in order to get the best results. I also wanted to mention my consulting program, which is 12 weeks, and basically I can work one-on-one with you and your brand, where I can help you scale your revenues and get to your targets, whether that's improving your branding, your operations, your creative, your marketing, or anything else related to all of those things. I have experience in doing these things for all these different types of brands around the world, and have had the chance to work with the biggest brands in the world in order to help them scale their brands and their revenues month on month. So if you're interested in one-on-one consulting, then DM me on Instagram. I have limited spaces, so I have to be very careful about who I work with, and I need to make sure that you're right fit first before we can pretty much go ahead and do the partnership. So if you're interested, DM me on Instagram. The link is in the description, and we will see if you're a good fit. So that's pretty much creative optimizations covered. If you want to go ahead and apply these to your ad creatives and your campaigns, then feel free to do so. And despite having these creative optimizations and being able to toggle on and off different features that allow you to improve your conversions, you also need to be able to reach the right customers as well. In this video, I cover how to make sure that you reach the right customers. And if you're not, and if you're having issues with doing that, then how to rectify that problem and sort of have this solution and implement it into your own brand campaigns. So check this video out, and I'll see you there.